fuck out, you know. See man, them man not take on the work, you know. Look how much bumbo clad Chinese. Me not see no black man there to work, brother. Look here. Look how much Chinese I work. I don't get fucked.
See if you come in a wholesale and you can't read, that's alright. Me help you. Right? But you see if you can't read and you go on like you can read, at them time there you look like fool. Let me give you an example with the things that me have to deal with at the time. One lady come in here and ask me the germs lotion. Germs lotion. And then when me ask her, germs lotion, miss? I don't know, germs lotion, that one there up there, so. I don't have no problem when people dance, you know. But how you fit dance and have attitude with it? And that me not get. How? That don't make no sense.
Everyone has been asking how the Chinese mechanics got into Jamaica. Well, here are the facts. Did you know that in 2015, Jamaica signed over the Kingston free port, our main port, our lifeline to China, who has full control for 30 years? Now they control what comes in and they control what goes out. That's why the Chinese mechanics and other companies move the way they want. No one to answer to. No real checks. No oversight. They run the port, they hold the gate. Why do you think it's after the fact Pika stepped in? Because they don't even know what's going on. But somebody know. Because when it comes to these little things, you know, don't think you can think on the same level you were programmed to think on. You have to change your frequency sometimes. And we're standing on the outside of our own house. We can't even act like we never know. Listen, we will never get out of slavery. Because a nation that can't even control its own port is a nation already conquered.
Have you ever felt like a stranger in your own home? It is a surreal, unsettling feeling, and for many Jamaicans, it's becoming a harsh reality. And today we are going to dive deep into the complex and often tense relationship between the Jamaican people and the Chinese community residing on the island. We'll explore how economic shifts, historical resentments, and a feeling of lost control and are creating a new form of silent violence that's forcing many Chinese individuals to leave a place they once called home. This is not a simple story of hate, it's a nuanced narrative of economic shifts, historical context, and a deep-seated feeling that an entire country is losing its identity and sovereignty. The issues we're about to discuss have a lot to do with who controls the economy, who benefits from the development, and who truly owns the Jamaican land. Stick around because what you're about to learn might just change your perspective on foreign investment and its real-world impact. Before we get into it, please take a second to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and share this video with your friends. Your support helps us bring more important stories like this. And as always, leave your thoughts down in the comments below. We want to hear from you. Now, let us watch the clips, and I'll be back to break down everything with you guys.
Something really wrong is going on in Kingston and St. Andrew. There is a set of people that don't care about community building, that don't care about families, that don't care about community, and they only care about making money. If you haven't been to Kingston and St. Andrew in a while, you can't be in a one street and you don't see one apartment building. Now, some of these apartment buildings are well positioned. Some of them make sense, right? The corporate area and all them thing there. But when you spread out a little bit out and you go into the communities them, when you see mom and pop home with them little backyard and thing, and right beside them yard is one tall rotted building that don't make no sense. The people them they upstairs looking at you downstairs hanging your panty on the clothesline. Between you, one big building sandwiched in the middle of two homes, of two family homes. So now imagine me now having a beautiful day today. As me leave me yard, what that me see right beside my gate? What is that me see right beside my gate? One sign that say intention to build apartment units. Now, if you don't know me or if you don't follow me, if you never watch my video them, please go watch them. Me live in the bush. Me live in some hill bush. Me live in the bush. This empty lot is between me and my two neighbors. So this apartment building would be sandwiched between 3 family homes, which privacy will be completely destroyed, which there is no road to go up there, so because don't see me take cooking oil go try fix up the road there. Them want carry people go up there in an apartment and the place don't have no road. There's no road go up there. The place far up in the hills. Which apartment gonna keep up there, so right? Now you tell me now, why will you want to disturb? First of all, come in and cut off the wall of the trees them. Deforest the place. The birds didn't know what to do with themselves. And now come in with sign that say I put up apartment building in a tiny, because I want a tiny lot in the middle of the bush, sandwiched in between 2 family homes. I don't care if people are going to go up this or not. I don't care if it has a good point of sell or not. All I care about is the fact that Uno are destroying Jamaica. Uno are destroying Jamaican communities. Uno are destroying Jamaican communities, because even sometimes when Uno don't get the old dilapidated house to buy and tear it down and put Uno dot in thinking apartment mashes box in the sky, so all Uno do a scam people with a little mashes box in the sky. It's not, and I'm not talking about this because it burn me and it affect me now. I have spoken about this plenty of time before, because there's a place for everything. Ambush sandwich between 2 family home, 3 family home is not a place for an apartment building. To all the contractors out there, I'm not saying to stop doing business. I am saying to do consciously, respectfully, with ethic. You don't need to have ethic. There is a place for everything. A community, a neighborhood is not a place for an apartment complex. Uno sick in uno head. You see the place where I show that where they white bones in a Constant Spring? Uno can put apartment building there, so there's no family home. It's a commercial place. Uno very well uno put an apartment building over there, so you understand what I say? A community, a street where kids play in the street and families jog out there and cows roam around the place. It's not the place for an apartment building. Don't be so greedy. Why you want to be so unethical and build a skyscraper to sell mashes box in the skies, which by the way most likely are going to just sit down there, so because there is a overstock in a town. Me don't know who. If people know I buy it down yes on a Kingston 6, Kingston 8, Kingston 10, who is going to go buy apartment in the bush? Just have a little conscience, please. And for those of you who are not contractors, whenever you can, please raise your voice. Please raise your voice, because these buildings, these apartment buildings, are destroying communities, families. They are pricing out families. A family that could have purchased that land to be their family home were priced out by a developer.
Jamaicans aren't only being pushed out of their beaches, but gradually they're being pushed out of business. Check this out.
Chinese mechanics in Jamaica should go 20-30 cars a day like clockwork, while Jamaican mechanics, the car are stuck in the garage sometime for a whole week. But how did the Chinese get here? How did they set up shop so fast right in front of our eyes? Listen, foreigners are coming in, buying land, running businesses, owning Jamaica, and we're becoming visitors in our own land. Just like some places in Africa where people now work for foreigners in their own country. Sooner or later, the Chinese will control the parts distribution and shut us out.
I already think it's too late for Jamaicans. And the reason why I say that, because back in 2015, Jamaica signed an agreement with China, allowing China to control one of their biggest and most important ports for 30 years. And that's the Port of Kingston. So China dictates what goes into Jamaica and what goes out of Jamaica. So I'm pretty sure all these Chinese business owners already have a connection with distributors in China. So they have contact with the distributors when it comes to supplies and keeping their stores in stock. So as you gradually see Chinese businesses pop up, you see less Jamaican businesses. So Jamaicans are gradually becoming workers for foreigners. And who allows another country to control your ports, allow what comes in and outside of your country? Like I said, it's already a wrap, at least for 30 years.
Good people, welcome back. That was a lot to unpack, wasn't it? And the clips really highlighted a very sensitive and a complex situation, revealing a powerful sense of frustration and resentment among Jamaicans. It is a feeling that their country is being subtly yet systemically taken from them. This is not just about individuals, it's about the very soul of a nation. So let us break down the two main factors at play: the economic landscape and the social landscape. And when we talk about the economic landscape, at the heart of it all is the tension of the 2015 agreement that gave China control over the Port of Kingston for 30 good years. Imagine your nation's most important port, its economic lifeline, being handed over to a foreign power. That's exactly what happened. This is not just a business deal. It is a strategic move that allows Chinese businesses to dictate what comes in hand and what goes out of the country. This control gives Chinese entrepreneurs a huge competitive advantage. They have direct and efficient supply chains from distributors in China, ensuring their stores are always well stocked with goods that local businesses can't compete with. This dominance is most visible on the streets. We've heard stories about Chinese mechanics handling 20 to 30 cars a day, while Jamaican mechanics' cars are stuck in the garage for a week. The perception is that Chinese entrepreneurs can set up businesses with incredible speed, sometimes benefiting from tax exemptions for the first 5 years. During this period, they can even bring in relatives and neighbors, establish the business, and then, in some cases, leave, perpetuating a cycle that has been observed for centuries. This rapid proliferation of Chinese businesses has led to the gradual displacement of local Jamaican businesses, pushing many Jamaicans into roles as workers for foreign-owned companies. And the feeling is that Jamaicans are becoming visitors in their own land. This loss of economic control is likened to being conquered just without the chain. A powerful and sobering statement. So, next up, let us talk about the social landscape. And the economic issues are only one side of the coin. But the social tension has a deep historical roots. The Chinese first arrived in Jamaica in the 1800s as indentured laborers following the abolition of slavery. Over generations, these hardworking immigrants built businesses and integrated into Jamaican fabric. You can imagine about that. They became part of Jamaica. But however, many struggling Jamaicans, they were seen as outsiders who control all the money. This historical resentment has intensified in a country still grappling with the deep wounds of its post-colonial past. While there is no official government policy of exile, the atmosphere of suspicion or hate has created what's been described as a silent violence. It is not physical, but is a form of pressure that has made many Chinese Jamaicans feel like they have no choice but to leave. The population of Chinese Jamaicans has been significantly reduced, a direct result of this unspoken yet undeniable pressure. The feeling of not being safe in your own home is a powerful motivator for migration. The narrative emphasizes that migration isn't always about chasing a dream. Sometimes it is about running from a nightmare. Another key factor in the social landscape is the impact of rapid and often uncoordinated development. The construction of massive apartment buildings, sometimes in the middle of established residential communities, is a huge source of resentment. Developers are accused of being unethical and greedy, building mash boxes in the skies, is in unsuitable locations, which leads to deforestation and destruction of communities. These developments often destroy privacy and lack the necessary infrastructure like proper roads for the increased population. They bring the most significant impact, however, is that these projects are pricing out local families who might have otherwise purchased land for family homes. This feels like another way Jamaicans are being pushed out of their own country. Not just economic control, but also their communities and their identity. In essence, what we are witnessing is a complex interplay of historical grievances and contemporary economic realities. The control of a nation's lifeline, the perception of unfair business practices, and the destruction of local communities all combine to fuel anti-Chinese sentiment. The feeling is that Jamaicans are standing on the outside of our own house, quote unquote, and that a nation unable to control its own port is a nation already conquered. This is not just a local issue, it is a microcosm of such a much large global conversation about sovereignty, in foreign investment, and the true cost of progress. So guys, do you think China is controlling Jamaica indirectly, or do you think China has already conquered Jamaica? And do you think the agitation from Jamaicans is justified because of this control by China? Tell me down in the comments below. Keep your comments respectful, and remember to like this video, share it with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel so that we become a family, we become a community. Thank you for watching. I hope to see you in my next video.